time today. My name is CJ Hurley, and I use they, them pronouns. I grew up here from elementary at Sugar Creek through ISU. I work closely with Jackie Gunderson with LGBTQIA Youth and have been an active community member my entire life. I am proud that each time I have met with the board, you have upheld every student regardless of their identity, and that they should feel welcome, but also safe to learn. On the topic of history, I will not waste time debating the validity of critical race theory, as that isn't being taught and stands on its own. However, students and experts alike agree that inclusive, honest, and critical history education should be taught. The real lived experiences of Black, Brown, Indigenous, and people of color matters. The truth matters. Not doing so empowers ignorance, hate, and violence. When we fail to recognize that oppression is systemic, every generation will struggle to combat this ignorance, this hate, and this violence. I know you will do the right by this community by teaching history as it happened, not how some would like it whitewashed and favoring the oppressor. Now I want to bring up LGBTQ sex ed. As a former student who took health, including sex ed, I would have loved to have been taught about safe sex, consent, etc., in the context that was right for me as a queer person. LGBTQIA students should have access to the same information just as their heterosexual peers do, because it literally saves lives. This is not an understatement, and unfortunately, society has scapegoated my community and therefore shadowed its members from safety. I know you will make the right decision to prepare all students for life outside of the education system and to empower and protect themselves and their bodies. Teaching accurate history and sex-inclusive education matters because the danger of not doing so is very real. Last night, I spoke to my father about the events of the District 87 meeting. While I've worked with the board before, most recently being the trans student using bathrooms they feel most comfortable in, this time he was concerned for my safety here today. The first thing he said to me was, "Please don't get shot." And I want to... Just think about what that means. For a 7-year-old man to say this to his 30-year-old trans child who graduated from this high school, my father feared for my life. These domestic terrorists have gained a platform that is a detriment not only to our students, but our entire community. I want to encourage you to reflect on the video from that meeting and this one, and really listen to the words that they're saying and the violence in their voice. I also implore you to do accurate research on Jackie Gunderson and her amazing work in this community, especially for LGBTQIA youth, and her inclusive, safe, educational future for the generations to come. Thank you so much for your time.